series. Angels trying to rebound after a tough loss yesterday in 11 innings, 6-5. And of course, special celebrations. Even Harvey, the Rabbit, makes an appearance as the A's are celebrating 50 very special seasons here in Oakland. The long ball will be prevalent for the Angels and needed from the Angels this season. The pen process, Mike Scioscia, as the roles evolve, who will come up at top, and also the GM's ear. Many eyes, a lot of experience, and many levels for the Angels, feeding some information and evaluating for Billy Epler. And is one of the top 50. Oakland Athletics, six-time Gold Glover, and now Angels staff member Eric Chavez, special assistant to the Angels general manager, makes his special entry here into the Coliseum. We welcome you, Jose Mora, alongside Mark Gubazal. We know how special it is to celebrate, but so when we talk about the A's and the colors and the personalities, it's very special for all of us as fans too.
Well, there's no doubt, and be able to go and perform against these guys for a lot of years, playing, especially being in the AL West. I'll tell you what, it was always a difficult task. These fans were always behind all these players, and A's had some dynamic players over the years here in Oakland. It was a lot of fun, but it was also very difficult going against them.
They were a dynasty for so many years as Coco Crisp makes his way, now a high school coach, teaching some of the youngsters. Score, Coco, a Southern California product. So getting back to business here, when we talk about the Angels offensively, we knew they're going to be a little bit deeper. We know the Angels are going to have choices now out of that lineup, and it seems like Mike Scioscia has better choices, especially tonight against a left-handed starter.
Well, and a number of hitters in the lineup today for Mike Scioscia have had a lot of success against Sean Manaea, starting with Ian Kinsler back in the lineup tonight. Chris Young at the bottom of there, hitting over 700 in his career versus Manaea. Cole Calhoun with good numbers, Mike Trout with good numbers against Manaea. So there's some balance. Martin Maldonado, 2 for 2 in his career version. So you got 1 through 9 balance against Manaea. All have been swinging the bat pretty well. Looking forward to the rest of that lineup, especially Mike Trout and Justin Upton, to really get it going. They were 0 for 11 last night, yet they still were able to score as many runs they did and many base hits. Not having those guys in there, expect them to be back here tonight.
Yeah, for the Angels yesterday, 13 hits and 5 runs, and one guy that was in the middle of everything was Zach Kozars, who we know last year against lefties, a 10.59 OPS, hit 337 against him, and he brings a whole lot, and we got to see it, especially the last couple of weeks into the season.
Well, the thing is, he's very aggressive, Jose, early in counts, but that doesn't really necessarily mean anything if he falls behind, because he's a 263 hitter with 2 strikes on him. But when he's able to look and guess on the inner part of the plate with a fastball, he has real good power. First home run as an Angel yesterday, 24 of them. Last night also picked up a double, so he was doing what we anticipated. We knew he was going to be great with the glove, but he's also got good instincts running the bases with that power swing. Never be, upset even if he's behind in the count, because he will put up those good numbers.
Who would have thought that he would have made his debut as an Angel at second base? Signed for as a third baseman, but Sir has showing versatility and selected last year, so his first All-Star game at shortstop. So we know that sometimes we see spring training and we see swings, we see approaches, but to see a guy like Cole Calhoun bring that approach immediately yesterday, what did you see in him?
Jose, I think when you did all those games down in spring training, I was down there a few times. As he was swinging the bat in spring training, you could see him gaining confidence. When you do a little bit of adjustment with your hands and your swing and your approach at the plate, you need some success early on, and that's what you saw from Cole. And obviously right away to start the season, a triple in his first at-bat high off the wall, right center field for Cole. Never slowed down, gets in there for the first triple. Had 2 triples all of last season, 1 his first at-bat. But then, this is what we really love about this. Look how he gets his hands down there through the baseball, let it travel, Jose, and hits that over the 388 sign by far in left center field. So that tells you he's got great plate coverage and a lot of confidence at the plate. He can allow that baseball to travel deeper in the zone.
One thing we know also, Cole Calhoun wants to be in the middle of that lineup, and he's only allowed from one guy. That is number 5, Albert Pujols, yesterday, a couple of hits away. Well, 30 hits away now after 2 hits yesterday. And for Albert, seems like for years, we've been waiting for that first home run to come in the season. He wasted no time yesterday.
Yeah, he was going to get that out of the way. Now 615 in his career, 1919 as far as RBI. This 81 RBI away from 2,000. You mentioned his 30 hits away from 3,000. Albert got that pitch up in his zone. That's what you're going to try to do in that situation. You're trying to elevate against great men, and he got to pitch up. And boy, you talk about a ball going a long, long way, and no doubt for Albert Pujols. that's the type of swing we're so accustomed to seeing. I think with him being in better shape and playing defense, the focus there for Albert, much, much better this season early on. Even though it's only one game in, he's shown why he's going to be special this year.
Let's get back to that, Mark, and talk about defense and sometimes how you can get so caught up as a DH and going in between at bats into the cage and taking soft touch. But for Albert, what kind of balance have you seen through the years with other players and how that helps?
Yeah, even Hal McRae, I was with him in Kansas City. He was one of the best DHs of all time. He said a lot of times when he had a bad at-bat, he had to think about that at-bat all the way through to the next at-bat. And sometimes with negative thoughts in your mind, you're going to have a bad swing or two coming back. But when you go on the defensive side, you can make a defensive play to save a run or two, and all of a sudden you feel good about yourself and you forget that bad at-bat. Even sometimes when you have a good at-bat, the focus is still there because that next at-bat is something completely different because defense is taking that focus away.
Talk defense, talk hitting, and now Mark's favorite subject. It's about the starting pitchers and the rest of the rotation here, even though the A's made a switch yesterday after the game, and this is how it looks like for the rest of the series.
Well, the big thing is, it's all said. You mentioned it. We've been talking about it for a while now. Tyler Skaggs, especially after using all the bullpen arms yesterday in that game, Garrett Richards going 5 innings. Tyler has that ability right now to step forward as the number 2 guy in this rotation to go deeper, quality pitching in there. You got Matt Shoemaker going up, and Shohei Ohtani. I saw him throwing the bullpen today. You saw the same thing. He looked really good down in the bullpen throwing the baseball, getting that start on Sunday, which is going to be a lot of fun.
Let's get back to Ohtani and throwing that bullpen, Mark. We know bullpens in Japan could be 100, 150 pitches. How much of an adjustment is it going to be with him here, especially when he is in a 6-man rotation and there's so many days in between?
And that's the thing. And, I was curious. I'm looking down there. He's throwing a bullpen today. Usually I would throw a game, off day, bullpen, 2 off days, and then game. Well, he threw his bullpen, and then I'll have an off day, and then in the game. Some guys, I know the Atlanta Braves pitchers did that a lot throughout their careers, a couple little bullpens. He looked real sharp on the bullpen down there today. I think that's his routine. Billy Epler said it a number of times. We tried to find out what his routine is, and that's obviously his routine. And I'll tell you, the baseball was really coming out of his hand very, very well.
Also, in the bullpen today, a bit of a surprise, but Andrew Heaney himself looked pretty good.
Yeah, he's speaking of baseball coming out of his hand really, really well. Free and easy. I look for, at the end, that little zip on the baseball from the left side he had. Real good, quick, and easy baseball throws out of his hand. He looks like he's ready to roll here real soon.
Well, Mark, for years we've talked about stuff, potential, health. We want to see it all come together for Tyler Skaggs. What is it going to take?
Jose, I think there's a combination he has to use in this game against this Oakland A's lineup. That curveball is always going to be in the bank for. That's money in the bank for him. 2-seamer to sinker, change-up combination away against a lot of these right-handed batters in this lineup. Get some quick outs, some soft contact off the sinker, but again, expand the zone with his change-up. It's a very good change-up. Elevate when you need to, but above all, sinker, change-up combo for Tyler Skaggs is going to be something he really needs to do. He doesn't have a lot of real good numbers against Oakland throughout his career, and the number of hitters in this Oakland lineup have had some good swings against him. But that being said, when he keeps that front shoulder in there, works very well downhill, and then elevates only when needs to, that makes that curveball better than that change-up combination. He will throw a cutter today. Watch for that during the course of the game against a hitter like Chris Davis. Get that cut fastball in, he gives a look out over the plate, and then run that in on him.
Mark, in your experience as a young pitcher, what are the mental hurdles you had to get through in a game to not let that affect you the rest of the game that Skaggs must be aware of?
Jose, I did it throughout my career, and I think when you look at Tyler Skaggs, that second time through, has struggled and gave up a lot of home runs. 12 of his 13 home runs last season, his second time through. Why does that happen? Because the focus doesn't stay there consistently for Tyler. Avoid the big inning. He's got that ability to get a ground ball. He's got the ability to get a strikeout at any given moment, whether with his fastball or certainly with that big curveball, which he throws quite a few of them. Curveball for strikeouts, but get some quick outs and get the trust from your teammates by getting deep in the game and give a chance to win a ball game.
And keep in mind, Skaggs himself says he's refreshed, he's renewed. It's all between his ears, he says. Maturely saying that, knowing that the big step ahead of him is to stay on the mound, stay healthy, and know more about his game. Limited to only 26 starts combined the last 2 seasons. When we come back here on Angels Live, we're going to meet a little bit more of the Angels staff. Eric Chavez, well known in the top 50 voted by the fans here in Oakland. Mark will visit with him when we come back. Chavez, now a special assistant to the Angels general manager Billy Epler, and we saw for years he was a bit of a headache anytime he had the ball near there. And who did better in foul territory than Eric Chavez at third base?
Jose, you talk about covering a lot of ground, 6-time Gold Glove winner, and when you think about how much foul territory here in Oakland alone, when you're playing 81 of your games, an outstanding defense player came in on the baseball very well, was a very difficult out at the plate. He was a extremely difficult, tough player to deal with, whether you were an Angel fan or anyone else around Major League Baseball. He was that good.
Well, one thing we know is, I know you had a chance to talk to him, so tell me exactly how you led him into answering the right questions.
Yeah, Jose, I noticed a big celebration here today, and I asked him first and foremost, how's he feel about this whole big deal going on here in Oakland here tonight?
A lot of fun, yeah. I'm actually looking forward to seeing some guys that I haven't seen in a while, and there's some that still live in Arizona that I see frequently, but yeah, it's an honor. It's a Hall of Fame list, to be honest with you, some of those guys on there. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to have some old stories we're going to talk about here in a little bit.
Well, you've had some fantastic years while playing for this Oakland baseball club, from whether it's winning a Gold Glove or hitting some home runs. Any special moment you remember as you look back?
All of it, really. I mean, we were competing with the Yankees and big payroll teams, and we took a lot of pride in playing good baseball. And I talk about social all the time, that the battles that the Angels and the A's had, I mean, there was a mutual respect, and we definitely had some good battles over the years.
Going back to that incredible year, 2002 for you, part of that special team that won all those games in a row, and then the Angels ended up winning the World Series that year. That was a crazy one.
Well, we had won 20 in a row, but what people don't talk about, we only gained one game on the Angels, so they were playing extremely good baseball. And like I said, it was a mutual respect. There was times, Jason Kendall and Lackey, we had that little bit of a brawl, but a lot of fun playing on the field against the Angels.
So fast forward, Eric, now you're working for the Angels, a team you competed against all the years. How much fun are you having doing that?
A lot of fun. This is my third year doing it, and obviously coming over with Billy Epler, worked together in New York, and yeah, I wear a lot of hats. Spring training, I get in uniform. I go around to see the affiliates through the year, and I'll see some top amateurs. I'm actually heading to the Dominican Republic next week to go see some kids, so I keep it pretty interesting.
Did you envision yourself doing something this, or you envision yourself being back in a uniform at some point?
A little bit of both, I think. When Billy called me, he said, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "I have no idea." So this actually gives me an opportunity to be in uniform, kind of get on the analytical side, the front office side of things, and it's been a fun ride the last couple of years.
Saw you in uniform quite a bit in spring training. What do you think about this, especially the lineup and the defense? I know premium on defense, 1 through 9, a lot of depth.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about the team, and for me, because I was a defensive-minded guy, to see the infield out there, we're going to save a lot of runs. And as we saw yesterday, the offense looks good. I think we're going to score a little bit more runs than people think, and we're really excited about this team.
One last thing, you mentioned defense. I look around how much territory you had to cover there on the defensive side. 6 Gold Gloves. How were you able to get to all those baseballs here?
That was the fun part of it. I mean, obviously as a hitter, sometimes that wasn't a lot of fun. We saw 2 balls hit yesterday that are probably 20 rows deep in any other stadium. So from the offensive standpoint, you're probably losing anywhere from like 12 to 15 points a year just on foul balls. So, but I love doing it. I enjoyed going and running after balls as far as I could go.
Well, Mark, outstanding job. He retired after the 2014 season, 17-year veteran. Now, how can he add, and what can he add to a new type era office?
I think, Jose, he really can help out. You mentioned about the analytic world. He's going to be able to know those little numbers here and there to be able to work with players. He's familiar with a lot of players now that are playing at this particular point, which is really big because you can see tendencies, weaknesses, strengths for each of the player, whether it's a position player or a pitcher, which becomes invaluable. Not only have the numbers analytically, but you also have the vision to be able to see these players, how they're performing in the big moments, and sometimes not even the moments where it really matters a whole lot.
Well, Eric Chavez, too, is having that mentality of a player that recently was on the field. The many things that are now combined with shifting, knowing pitchers, knowing hitters, and the ability to communicate with what he sees at third base.
Exactly. When we talked about it a number of times, he talked about how much ground he could cover, 6-time Gold Glove winner, but the communication skills to be able to tell the rest of the infielders about exactly where you could be positioning yourself, whether you're in a shift or not. But also, that's important to be able to relay to the pitchers. If you're going to pitch to the shift, you got to make sure you pitch to that right part of the strike zone. In other words, if you have 3 guys facing a left-handed batter, if you're right-hander, when you have everybody on that right side of the infield and you pitch away, well, you're pitching against the shift. All those little things you can teach the pitchers and the position players, especially in the infield, to be successful.
Well done, my friend. Very good job with him. And when we come back, of course, Shohei Ohtani. First swing, first pitch, got the results. We're going to all break it down with the approach, starting from BP, right after this on Angels Live. Some power and some speed all the way around.
Yeah, there was a lot of big swings in those at bats from way back in the 70s when they won 3 straight world championships. I'll tell you what, there are a lot of characters over the years, these Oakland A's. I'll tell you what, it's great to see all these guys back in here. The fans loving their old-time favorites.
Well, let's talk about a guy that is hoping to become a favorite everywhere in baseball, Shohei Ohtani, starting with batting practice, what we saw today again.
Well, you know, the amazing thing is, too, he threw a bullpen session earlier, and I'll tell you, he's really smooth with his swing here today during batting practice. Those adjustments he has made. Talked about it, you know, Jose, in the pregame show the other day in Dodger Stadium. He's getting that toe tap and just a short little stride. Now, remember he had that higher leg kick where he was susceptible to fastballs inside. Very good piece of film right here to show exactly how successful he is with his hands right now, getting it through the baseball so consistently, using the barrel of the bat, creating lift on there, that arch, to be able to get that ball in the backspin, to be able to get some better drives. He hit some baseballs a long, long way today in batting practice.
Give me some perspective. I mean, had you been presented with the challenge of being a pitcher and also being a full-time hitter, what would you have done to manage everything?
I don't know how. I mean, especially we mentioned he threw a bullpen session. A lot of times you're icing your shoulder and your elbow after that's done, but he's right out there swinging the bat. That's the thing. Hitting is going to be, I think, a little bit more difficult for him because of the timing factor. Getting to be able to hit as much as possible. Pitching, you're going to get your routine. It's all about routines anyhow. Your workouts, your throw sessions, your long toss. It's all about trying to mix in that hitting, and he certainly looked great doing that today. I was really proud of what he did today.
He looked really good. That breaking ball, the popping that fastball, all doing well. You know who's here too is Mom and Dad, all the way from Japan for Shohei Ohtani. When we come back, we're going to look at the Angels and the bullpen, the process, and hear from Angels manager Mike Scioscia after this. See you on Angels Live. Skaggs against Sean Mania. Well, one thing we know, Mark Gubicza, is that seems like for the roles in the bullpen to be defined, you need some help from the starting pitcher. And last night, or yesterday, we saw Garrett Richards, 5 innings, 89 pitches, and then the bullpen with 6 relievers was not able to get it done.
Well, for the most part, though, Jose, I thought they threw the ball pretty well. When you think about it, just a couple runs allowed there during that stretch. You know, there were some times, especially with Cam Bedrosian, his stuff is too good to be able to go in and put himself in a situation where he struggles, giving up 3 hits. But, you know, Jim Johnson did a nice job. Blake Wood did a real good job. Keenan Middleton threw the ball very, very well. You're talking about a fastball that was rushing up there, 98, 99. His changeup and slider very good. Jose Alvarez, once again, came in there for that 1 out, got the punch out. Noe Ramirez, I thought, threw the ball really well. Unfortunate play out there, just off the glove, adjusting up down left field, set up that situation where he ended up picking up the walk-off loss. But other than that, I thought he threw the ball well, 3 punch outs.
Let's go back to Noe Ramirez, and you and I have touched so many times about swings and misses, and it seems like the first inning, there's a lot of swings and misses. Unfortunately, one pitch perhaps cost him at the end.
Yeah, I think that's what exactly happens to you. I mean, I think what it comes down to is what you got to have that mindset that hitters are always going to be on the defensive against you as a pitcher. When you have that mentality, you're going to be able to get them to swing and miss. And sometimes pitches that are out of the strike zone. No way. When you think about his changeup, but he got a fastball by a very good fastball hitter in Matt Olson, and then the changeup once again. That great arm speed he has, the great deception he has. Think in terms of they're on the defensive against me. I'm going to make my pitch. I'm going to allow them to get themselves out with a non-strike. If he's able to do that, he's going to be fine. Same thing, everyone down in the bullpen, and even Tyler Skaggs here tonight.
Angels manager Mike Socha talks about the process and picking high leverage and perhaps matchups in the bullpen. Here's the Angels manager.
Well, I think much like last year, we're probably going to match up for the whole season. I think last year worked really well. This year we'll definitely try to match up, and if there become some more defined roles, then that's the way we'll go. But right now, we're just going to put guys into situations where we think they have the best look.
I think, Jose, as the season progresses, guys will settle into their comfort zone, and Mike Socha will have a better idea. But for the time being, he's still trying to figure out who is best suited for what inning. That biggest inning could be the 7th inning, could be the 8th inning, could be closing the ball game up there in the 9th. So many things will come into play. Those decisions will make themselves easier as Mike Socha gets comfortable with everybody down in the bullpen.
You made it easy for a lot of people because you went deep into the game. So today it'll be up to Tyler Skaggs. Stay tuned. First pitch, Victor Rojas, Mark Gubicza, and a special celebration here in Oakland right after this.
After a tough loss last night on opening day, the Angels looking to bounce back as opening week is presented by Humana. The Angels dropping the opener of the 2018 campaign. And tonight from the Coliseum, it's game 2 of this 4-game set against the Oakland Athletics. As we welcome you inside the Coliseum and back to Angels baseball here on Fox Sports West, along with Mark Gubiza. I'm Victor Rojas. And the Angels will get a chance to see their first left-hander on the mound as far as the starter is concerned. Sean Manaea is going for the Oakland Athletics. And why is that important? Well, because last year the Angels on the offensive side, they struggled a little bit against lefties, but they did get some guys that have had some success in the past.
Yeah, Victor, when you think about it, the record, one-loss record, wasn't all that bad, 24-24 against left-handed starting pitching. But when you look at the overall numbers, the batting average, on-base percentage, slugging percentage, close to the bottom in all 3 of those major categories when you're talking about having a chance to score some runs. Well, what did the Angels do? Billy Epler, he added some strength to that side, especially for right-handed batters going against lefty. Justin Upton, we saw him last year, 7 home runs as an Angel on the way to 35 on the season, 344 versus left-handed pitching, just 252 versus righty. So the ability to drive the ball against some lefties, very important to have Justin Upton in that lineup. Zach Cozart, 24 home runs last season, 337 versus southpaws, 285, pretty solid against righties too, but 337, we saw that on display. His ability to drive the ball yesterday, home run and a double. Great to have him in that lineup to neutralize the left-handed pitching of Sean Manaea. And throughout his entire career, when you look at Ian Kinsler, a batting average over 300, 304 in his career versus left-handed pitching. Get that timing mechanism where he's going to drive the ball, especially early in counts. Good career numbers against Manaea. A number of hitters in this lineup today for the Angels with very good career numbers against Sean Manaea. Should be a good offensive effort here today for the fellows.
Yeah, Ian unable to play yesterday because of the sore groin. He's back in there at full health. The Angels, because they used a lot of bullpen arms, will really rely on Tyler Skaggs, not only to pick up a W, but work deep into this ball game because a lot of bullpen arms were certainly exhausted in yesterday's game. We're just about ready for baseball here at the Coliseum. Sit back and relax. We're going to bring you the lineups and the first pitch when we return.
Gone! Big fly for Justin Upton. That baby's gone. Matt Olson with a big league home run.
you can save. And by your SoCal Mazda dealers. Mazda, driving matters. First night game of the 2018 season, and it's a gorgeous night, although a rather warm afternoon for Northern California, all things considered, since we're at the end of March. But Halos and the A's will certainly take it. A fantastic 50th anniversary celebration before the game. A lot of grades on the field.
Oh, that was so much fun seeing the fellows out there. I didn't enjoy facing them, a lot of them, but now that I don't have to worry about that anymore, it's great to see them guys back.
Let's take a look at Mike Scioscia's lineup for game number 2 of the season. I mentioned Ian Kinsler will lead things off. He's been in the lineup for the first time, making his Angels debut. Trout went hitless for the first time on opening day, 0 for 6, his first 0 for 6 of his career. He is batting second in center. Justin Upton's in left. Albert Pujols hit career home run number 615. Yesterday, he's at first base. Zach Kozer will bat in the 5 spot. He's at third base. Cole Calhoun is in right. Andrelton Simmons, the shortstop. Chris Young gets a start at DH today, and he's got good numbers in his career against Sean Manaea. And it's Martin Maldonado here in the 3-hit game yesterday, batting ninth and doing the catching. Mentioned Sean Manaea, 26-year-old left-hander, native of Valparaiso, Indiana, made 29 starts for the Athletics last season.
Yeah, fastball is 89-94. He'll throw a slider and a changeup. My go-tos to be successful against the 12-game winner of last season, you really have to look in terms of trying to bring that fastball up in the strike zone. And when the Angels have had that success against him, and a number of hitters have, they've elevated that fastball and try to make sure that changeup he throws is a very good, it's a +1, but in the strike zone it becomes hittable just like that. Bring in the middle part of the plate and do some damage.
Manaea's ready to go. Kinsler settles in. First one tonight is a little bit upstairs for ball 1. The first pitch is brought to you by Carson Toyota. Kinsler, 35-year-old, native of Arizona. His first season wearing the Angels red. 236 last year with the Tigers. 25 doubles, 3 triples, 22 home runs, 52 runs batted in. A down season for Kinsler. 2-0. This is popped up. Got jammed. Olsen into foul territory. And here's the first down of the ballgame. Check out the A's on the defensive side of things. You've got Pinder in left, Smolinski in center. Piscotty is out at right. Chapman, Simeon, Lowry, and Olsen from third to first. Jonathan Lucroy behind the plate.
And Steve Piscotty out in right field has a very strong throwing arm. 5 outfield assists last season for the Cardinals. Career high 7 back in 2016. Very good arm, accurate throwing arm.
Trout hears a smattering of boos as he gets introduced. First one is on the inside part of the plate for a strike. Should might go for 6 yesterday. Angels extra inning loss.
It's a good hack right there for Trout. 455 career hitter with 2 home runs versus Sean Manaea.
Is one of those guys that does not waste a whole lot of time on the mound. Number 2 is a breaking ball. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That's when you look at it. When he's trying to get hitters to chase either his changeup or slider, it's definitely usually out of the strike zone. When you make him throw a strike with it, very hittable.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Upton on deck. Manaea last year 12-10, 4.37 ERA. Those 29 starts. A stint on the disabled list with a shoulder issue. It's in tight, full count. Payoff on the way for the big lefty, and it's fouled back.
And one thing we saw yesterday against Trout from Oakland A's pitchers, they were all trying to elevate. They were trying to pitch inside. Trout not quite able to get the barrel of the bat on the baseball. When you look at the hot zones for Trout, he's definitely the lower part of the strike zone, middle down, crush the baseball. Upstairs, always an adjustment for Trout.
3-2, and that's out to deep left field. This one's got a chance to go, and it does. Big fly for Mike Trout. There's his first knock of 2018, and it gives the Angels a 1-0 lead.
Well, and if you look exactly where that pitch was, exactly where Mike Trout absolutely crushes the baseball. Just show those hot zones, cold zones. Trout gets one into that spot. And what's he do? Hits it out of the yard. Pitch lower part of that strike zone. He went down and got it. You talk about timing mechanism. Foot was down when he cleared that barrel of the bat, and that ball was lined out, got out quickly. First home run of the season for Trout. All was good now. After the game, everyone, what's wrong with Mike Trout? One game.
Upton punches one to right field, so the two guys that combined to go 0 for 11 yesterday. Ooh. 2 for 2. You know they weren't going to go hitless, right?
No.
I know you were on the edge. You were a little concerned last night.
Let's go a little Aerosmith, living on the edge.
In the fourth.
Brings up Pujols. 1 out. Trout with 33 home runs last year in 114 games. Gets his first in game number 2. Albert homered yesterday. 1 of 2 hits. So now 2,970 career hits. He will look at his strike. It's a 5th career opening day home run for Albert.
Like,
Up to pretty good lead at first.
Job, you know, as far as bringing those pitches down to his spot where he can drive it.
Fouled off.
Let's go back to Albert. You mentioned that home run on opening day. It's worthy of a Carlos Cam replay. The machine gets a pitch upstairs. Kendall Graven, a sinker ball specialist. Well, that was a flat fastball upstairs, and Albert hit that out a long way. 615th career home run for Albert Pujols.
Oh, 2 count on Albert. That's it tight. 1-2. Lance Barksdale is calling the balls and strikes. Chad Fairchild at first base. Will Little at second. Ted Barrett, the crew chief, over at third. Two balls, 2 strikes, smothered by Lucroy.
Upton had a pretty good secondary lead. If that baseball got away a little bit further from Lucroy, he was going to try to advance. It's one of the things that's underrated as far as the game of Justin Upton, his base running. Very solid base runner. And of 130 career stolen bases.
1-0 Angels on the Trout home run. Cozart is on deck. Here's the 2-2. Albert chops this one toward the hole. Simming to a knee. To Lowry and to Olsen. And again the double play. But Mike Trout gives the Angels the early lead with his first home run of the season.
Boy, he got that pitch lower part of the strike zone. He went down and got it. And that baseball got out quickly for a solo shot. First hit of the season for Trout.
We'll take a look at Bob Melvin's starting lineup for game number 2 of the season. Marcus Semien, the hero yesterday afternoon, will lead things off. He's short. Jake Smolinski is at center. Jed Lowry at short. Chris Davis at DH. Matt Olson at first. Stephen Piscotty at right. Matt Chapman at third base. Jonathan Lucroy behind the plate. Chad Pinder batting ninth. He'll play in left field. Taking on Tyler Skaggs. 16 starts a year ago. 2-6 and a 4.55 ERA. First one's in for a strike. A lot of guys in this A's lineup. Good numbers against Tyler Skaggs. Limited last year to those 16 starts. He had a strained oblique from April 29th to August 5th last season.
It's a real good curveball there from Skaggs. It's a strike. Now, being ahead of the count 0-2, you can afford to bounce it. Tried to get him to chase that one. Good spot, good miss.
Two balls and 2 strikes on Marcus Semien. 3 for 5 in yesterday's game, including the game-winning RBI. Skaggs is 2-2. Fastball. That's a pretty good pitch.
Yeah, you want that pitch.
Full count.
Going for that lower part of the strike zone. That's one thing Maldonado does a great job at, getting one of those borderline, maybe even a non-strike call to strike with his ability to frame pitches.
Ground ball over to third. Kozar across the diamond, and there's the first out.
Speaking of Tyler Skaggs and getting those ground ball outs, my go-tos for Tyler to be successful today is that fastball on the corners. That 93-mile-an-hour fastball away, fastball inside part of the plate. Why is that important? Because it sets up his very good off-speed pitches, which he'll be able to get for outs. Good changeup off the plate, and that big breaking ball, 11-5 break on the curveball to get a swing and miss on a consistent basis for Tyler Skaggs.
Jake Smolinski, his 2018 debut, did not play yesterday. Limited to just 16 games last year, had shoulder surgery in spring training of last year. Played on 3 outfield positions. He's getting the start tonight in center. Nice play down there. Front row. Throwback duty on. That's a good look. All sleeveless. A's tonight are wearing the Kelly green uniforms they went to full time back in 1972. This one's pulled foul.
Good differential in speeds of the curveball and fastball so far early on for Skaggs. Been in the low 90s with his fastball, 77, 78 with his curveball. His changeup going to settle in around 82, 84.
One, two. Lifted out. Shallow right field. Cole broke back now. Has to come in toward the foul line. He'll put it away for out number 2. Look at the Angels on the defensive side of things. Up to Trout and Calhoun in the outfield from left to right. Kozar, Simmons on the left side of the infield. Kinsler and Pujols on the right, with Martin Maldonado behind the plate.
And Ian Kinsler making that debut as an Angel at second base here tonight. 86 defensive runs saved over the last 7 seasons for Ian Kinsler. Won a Gold Glove back in 2016 for the Detroit Tigers. Very good range, and he is super quick. Turn it to double play.
Jed Lowry a swing and a miss. He was hacking early quite a bit in yesterday's game. Does so here against Skaggs.
And we were talking about that as far as keeping notes yesterday for Tyler Skaggs. Jed Lowry was hacking early. At least his first 5 at bats.
They're going 2 for 5. couple of hits in his career against Skaggs, 2 for 8. Two balls, one strike. 1-0 Halos. Trout with a home run. Fell behind in his count at 0-2. Worked it to 3-2. Before hitting a breaking ball over the left field fence.
Historically, for Mike Trout, he doesn't seem to ever panic when he's behind an account. 0-1, 0-2.
Lowry punches one out to right field. Hit pretty good. Taking Cole back several steps, but he's there. Puts it away in a 1-2-3 shutdown inning for Tyler Skaggs. 1-0 Halos as we head to the second. Call 888-796-HALO or go to Angels.
The actual Diamond Club.
Yeah.
Nice.
How about that? Zach Cozart, Cole Calhoun, Angelton Simmons for the Halos here in the second, up 1-0.
You got connections everywhere, don't you? To get us into the Diamond Club there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's what that media credentials for.
Yeah. Is that what that's for?
Yeah. 1-1, he went around on the off-speed pitch.
And that's a changeup trying to get a hitter to swing at a pitch that is not in the strike zone. Trout got his changeup in the strike zone, hits it out.
Cozart goes down swinging. First strikeout of the night for Shamanaya. 1 out.
Take a look at our tools of the trade brought to you by Ram Trucks. We talked about last season, the hands and the leg kick different from last season. This spring, hands out, able to drive the ball very well the other way, getting that foot down very well. Hips are opened up, and then yesterday, see that leg kick? Timing, very similar to Trout, gets it down, drives that one out to left center field, also tripled off the wall in a right center field for Cole Calhoun. That good adjustment and the confidence he got to carry from spring training into the regular season.
Cole a 3-for-5 game, triple home run, picked up an RBI. Love the fact that it was an opposite field home run.
Over to 388 sign and a way up there in the stands.
Head of the count at 2 balls, no strikes. Lefty on the mound. Cole drops down 1 spot with Cozart taking over the 5-hole.
You see Cole trying to drive the ball, and even started last season where starting to hit the ball the other way. That's what's important for Cole after that All-Star break. Opposite field percentage of hits. hitting that ball that way, 26.6%, the opposite way. What that does is the hitter allows you to let the baseball travel a little bit more so than not trying to be pull happy.
Breaking ball, and this one's rolled over to Olson. He'll take it himself. 2 down. So up steps Andrelton Simmons. Simba yesterday 1 for 4, had an RBI single up the middle. Take inside. Anaya is making his 7th career start against the Angels, 1-2. ERA just north of 5. 30 innings, 30 hits, 19 strikeouts, and 11 walks. Popped up. Lowry. Too deep in the shallow right is there. Angels down in orders. We hit at the bottom of the second. 1-0 Angels.
Socialist Club, a little Muse. Go and dig down. Got to find any way possible to be able to get this win, to even up this series, to get that first win of the season. It means keeping that ball down, getting ground ball outs for Skaggs, and also looking down with a changeup and driving against Manaya today.
Big swing on this by Chris Davis. Start the second. 2 for 5, 4 runs batted in. Homer, 3-run shot. Woke up the A's offense with that home run. That grazed him on the elbow pad. Davis will take his base. He was honored to be one of the top 50 players in A's history, as voted by the fans.
A little cut fastball, get that tricep area.
I think, yeah, I think at the jersey.
Yep. So he was looking fastball out over the plate, but a cut action. Just hear that tricep area, jersey. My social thought about challenging it, but no. Yeah, it's got to be an honor for Chris Davis to be amongst the top 50 all time Oakland A's players, because they've had a lot of great ones.
Davis in his 3rd season.
Yeah.
Lots of home runs. Matt Olson yesterday homered. 1 for 5. 24 home runs last year, 59 games. His rookie campaign. Not a big lead at all for Davis at first base. 3-0.
Olsen will be swinging here, 3-0. If you're Tyler Skaggs, you got to trust that athleticism in the infield here for the Angels. You get a ground ball, get 2 outs with that pitch.
This one lifted out of the foul territory. Can Cozart get there? No, he got a long way to go. Good effort.
You think about how much ground he had to try to cover to get that pop-up. Or Chavez talked about that today. On the defense side, he won 6 gold gloves wearing that Oakland uniform here. How much ground you have to cover on a pop-up.
Middleton Simmons has a pretty good catch in this ballpark.
Gets Coco Crisp, who's amongst the top 50 all-time Oakland A's player. That was one of the best I've ever seen.
3-1 now. Full count.
Good fastball. Remember last night, or yesterday afternoon, Noe Ramirez got a fastball by him upstairs, but you got to be careful if it's at belt, high or lower.
Three-2. Little dribbler toward first. Pujols. It's only placed to first. They'll tag out Olsen. Davis advances into scoring position. Mentioned that Andrelton Simmons play here at the Coliseum a couple of seasons ago.
Look how far Henderson Simmons has to go to get to this baseball. That was one of the best plays I've seen. He was able to hold on to that baseball too as he went sliding in towards the bullpen mounds. The distance he covered. What an athlete. He's played soccer. That, I think, made him better because of the footwork. Same thing with Ian Kinsler. Played soccer also. It's pretty good athletic middle infielders for the Angels with Ian Kinsler and Andrelton Simmons.
Stephen Piscotty, the right fielder. A 1-0 count. And hitless in his A's debut last night, well, yesterday afternoon. Turned almost into early evening. Swing foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Down season last year for Piscotty with the Cardinals. .235 average, 9 home runs, 39 runs batted in. First round pick by the Cards in 2012 out of Stanford. Ground ball to the right side. Kinsler's there. 2 hopper. 2 down.
That's an excellent pitch. 94-mile-an-hour fastball down. Utilizing that defense. Gets a ground ball out. Especially after getting beat with a fastball in. Came right back with that 2-seamer down. Talked about using both corners. The pitch before, fastball in. That fastball away. Late on the swing. Ground ball to Kinsler.
There's some smack talk going on. He's got Jet Lowry and Piscotty from Stanford. Marcus Simeon, Mark Canna, Bob Melvin, yes. Berkeley guys.
Yes.
Bowmel's your guy, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys tight?
For battery mate of mine back in Kansas City.
That's crazy. It's his 8th season with Oakland.
Really?
Yeah.
That is amazing. You know, I would have never guessed that.
I know.
Especially after trying to catch me, you'd be able to be around managing for 8 years, remembering anything.
Ball and a strike. Chapman, the third baseman, hitless yesterday, 0 for 4. Davis hit by a pitch, standing over at third base with 2 outs. Two-one pitch. It's a good breaking ball.
So important for Skaggs to be able to throw his curveball for a strike. If it's never in the strike zone, you're not going to get hitters to chase it when you have 2 strikes out of the strike zone.
Two on the way. Breaking ball, got him to swing at it, and it wasn't even a strike. To your point, Gooby.
So important. Throw it for a strike and then get him out with a non-strike.
Angels fans up here in the Bay Area. They're always up here in the Bay Area, especially around that third base dugout. Angels with a 1-0 lead have 8-9-1 here against Sean Manaea, Young, Maldonado, then Kinsler.
By the way, how cool was that? Ricky Henderson right here in our booth a couple seconds ago. The greatest of all time.
Just ask him. The self-proclaimed.
Tell you what, he's still in amazing shape. Wore that Angel uniform also. But what a player. He's also a huge fan of Mike Trout, Ricky Henderson. I think we all are. There he is. Major league record for runs, stolen bases, and 81 leadoff home runs. And yes, I feel pretty good about that. I'm one of those 81.
Congratulations,
yeah,
man.
I was really happy.
Young goes down as he foul tips that one into the glove for the first out. I had a chance when I was at MLB Network to cover Ricky's induction in Cooperstown. Get a chance to work with Harold Reynolds. I remember setting up and sitting up top our perch there and was like, I'm kind of excited to hear Ricky's speech because, you know, he talks in the third person. You just never know what he's going to say. And he goes out there and delivers this incredible speech, you know, almost a humbling, well-prepared speech. And it turns out he ends up leading up to going to Cooperstown. Went to a local college here in Oakland, downtown Oakland. And for weeks on end, practiced his speech, got critiques from the kids there, and it turned out to be one of the best. And here I am. I'm stoked about it. How many Rickies is he going to drop in his speech? You know,
Yeah.
not one. Not one.
I'll tell you what, I was so lucky to be able to be a teammate of his when we were both together with the Angels, and I learned so much from him. You know, whether it's in the dugout or even on the bus rides to and from the airports, he talked and loved, and still continues to love the game of baseball, and loves to teach players now at the major league level and youngsters the importance of playing the game the right way, and he played the game the right way.
Martin Maldonado, 3-hit game yesterday. Shoot this one out toward right field, slicing away from Piscott. He's not going to get there. Foul ball.
Maldonado 2 for 2 in his career versus Sean Manaea. 3 RBI.
Kinsler on deck. A lot of off-speed stuff from Sean Manaea. There's another off-speed pitch. Back-to-back strikeouts, now 3 in the game.
Ian Kinsler coming to the plate. With 2 outs. Now it's time for the key to drive to success. Speaking of driving and scoring, Ian Kinsler, sitting over the last 10 seasons, leads the majors with 988 runs scored. That's over a 10-year period for Ian Kinsler. Mike Trout, the last 6 seasons, 672. But Ian Kinsler can drive the ball out of the ballpark, but also can score a ton of runs.
Kinsler popped out his first time up. Down and in. A lot of sliders from Manaea. He had a chance, along with A.J. Puck, one of the top prospects in the A's system, another left-hander who's since had to have Tommy John surgery. He's out for a while. A chance to talk with and interact with Randy Johnson during spring training, talking about the slider. Puck also a lefty. Clearly, at least here in the early going, it looks like he's got a pretty good one working right now.
Yeah, it does. What Randy Johnson did very well too. He didn't leave that slider out over the plate often. It was always down and in. He'll show that slider away on the outside corner. You start tracking away, but that's when the one you'll get to swing over top ends up hitting your back foot.
Kinsler out towards center. Jake Smolinski is there. That's 7 straight retired by Manaea since the single by Upton in the first inning. 1-0 Halos as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Brokers, insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com.
And by Hyundai. Get a great deal more than a great deal at the Hyundai Season of 4 event going on now. Offers end April 2nd.
Halos up by the score of 1-0 on a beautiful warm night. Bottom of the third.
Now that's a fantastic beard working.
Clean shaven when yesterday's game started. 4 hours.
It was a long game.
Yeah, 4:02. Skaggs, 1 strikeout, 1 hit batter. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lucroy, Pinder, and Simeon. Ground ball, left side. Simmons is there. Lucroy retired for the first down here in the third.
It's 3 ground ball outs so far in this game for Skaggs. Talked about that need for that combination, that fastball, 2-seamer, changeup. Talked about it in our opening. Talked about it pregame show. How important that is for him to have that combination. So you get hitters look fastball down and away, then you throw the changeup and get soft contact with it.
Here's Chad Pinder, left fielder, 26-year-old. 238 last year in 87 games for Oakland, 15 home runs and 42 runs batted in. Second round pick by the A's in 2013 out of Virginia Tech. Some thump in that bat. He'll also strike out quite a bit. 92 strikeouts and 282 at bats last year.
Remember when he hit that 1 home run against the Angels right off the top of the wall in right center field? Pretty good power. Then a few weeks later hit one about 450 or 460.
That was number 1, it's a strike, and number 2, he went around. Apparently Lance Barksdale didn't see either one, but he gets help. It's 1-2.
Trying to elevate a fastball. He elevated that fastball.
Yeah, that might have gotten the bull in Bull Durham. It worked though.
Yeah. The old change the eye level. Well, ideally, when you throw a high fastball like that, because he was here today, Barry Zito used to drop that big curveball at that high fastball.
Just off the plate. Full count. Yeah, Zito, people think that he was like an overpowering guy. He really wasn't an overpowering lefty, but because he lived upstairs to that fastball, and then that curveball started on that same plane. Devastating.
Almost kind of ahead of his time as far as that high fastball, which we're starting to see the evolution of pitchers now. It went not that long ago, everyone was thinking down in the strike zone, pitch to contact, get ground balls. Now it's that high fastball. Rich Hill really turned his career around with that combination. High fastball, big curveball from that same arm slot.
Down goes Pinder. 2 down, second strikeout for Tyler.
Pretty good fastball working for Skaggs. That's at 94.
I mentioned good old number 75, Barry Zito of the Oakland Athletics back in the day.
See that big curveball, why that was so effective is because he can run that fastball upstairs. Want a Cy Young? Very good deception, exactly where that fastball was, upstairs.
Marcus Simeon grounded out. Bottom of the first is 0 for 1. 5 straight retired by Skaggs. Chris Davis on an 0-1 pitch. Only base runner so far for Oakland.
Good changeup. All 3 pitches early on here for Skaggs working.
1-2.
Get a late swing like that when you're able to throw that changeup in there, Victor. But 7-8 mile an hour differential and those speeds of those two pitches and a late swing.
Got a pretty good feel for that breaking ball.
Maybe inspired by seeing Barry Zito with that big curveball. There it was there. Try to get him a chase. So the outfield defense set up. A lot of room out there down the, well, when you think about that left field line, playing deep in left center field. Upton, Trout playing shade him over the right center.
Ground ball left side, that'll sneak through. A 2-out single. Puts a man on for Oakland here in the third inning, and Jake Smolinski coming up.
And this is very important as he's going through that second time through the lineup. Last season, very, very difficult for Tyler Skaggs. That first time through, very good. Second time through, 12 of his 13 home runs allowed were that second time through the lineup. So now it's important for him to pitch. The stuff is here tonight. As far as the velocity on the fastball location, same thing was curve and change. But you have to get over that stumbling block, the mental part of it, knowing that second time through, you struggled last season.
And pitchers know that, right?
Well,
They're well aware of it.
Definitely.
Smolinski get a fly ball to Cole Calhoun. His first plate appearance.
One thing we've seen early in this game at Lance Barksdale is a hitter's umpire. What do we mean by that? Not giving those borderline corner pitches at all. That first pitch was close, curveball. And you know that whether you're a hitter or a pitcher, what umpire favors the hitters, what umpire favors the pitchers.
Pretty good lead for Semien over at first base. This is lifted out to shallow left. Simmons calls off Cozart and squeezes it for the third out. 3 complete here at the Coliseum. Mike Trout to lead things off for the Angels. When we come back, it's 1-0 Halos. Season solo shot to left field. 2 hits allowed by Manaea. Home run and a single by Upton.
41 home runs, a career high back in 2015.
That's driven out towards center field. Smolinski got a good jump on it. He will track it down as he reaches up for it on the track.
That was a rocket. That's two really good swings. Again, another pitch in lower part of the strike zone. Trout was all over Smolinski. Nice play out in center field to go back on a very difficult play for a center fielder. One is straight over your head. Pitch lower part of the strike zone, fastball, and he was on it. That's straight over his head. He went back on it well, reaches up and makes a good play, preventing Trout from an extra base hit.
Upton with a base hit to right field in the first, 1 for 1.
Pretty consistent as far as the home run totals throughout his career, including a career high last year of 35 for J.O.
Drove in 109 between Detroit and Southern California.
44 doubles also. Most pitchers always talk about the most effective way if you're going to pitch inside. It's not hitting somebody, it's making them move their feet. And that's exactly what Manai did to Justin Upton there on that pitch inside.
So you think off speed away now?
I would think so.
With fastball, and this one's out towards center. Smolinski racing back again. 2 outs.
Those two baseballs might have been in jeopardy yesterday afternoon.
Yeah.
Even though it's a fairly warm night, baseball carries much better in the afternoon than it does here at night. It's good to see though 2 really good swings by both Upton and Trout in their 2 at-bats today. And high fives getting in that dugout, knowing you're doing what you're supposed to do is hit a baseball hard right back up the middle. That's what he did. Smolinski with 2 real good plays in this inning.
Albert grounded into a double play that ended the first inning. 0 for 1. mph and down in the zone. Two hits for the Angels, 1 for Oakland. Right here in the 4th inning. Albert chases. And the Halos down in order. That's 10 straight now retired by Manaya. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Still the Angels on top. this June. Halos up 1-0. 3-4-5 coming up for Oakland. Lowry swinging at the first one, fouls it off.
Continues that trend. Four out of 5 at bats yesterday, swung at the first pitch. First 2 at bats tonight, swinging at the first pitch. 49 doubles last season. Jed Lowry.
Career high for him. Now 33 years of age. Oregon native.
That is an Oakland record for doubles in a season. Old athletic record back in Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Athletics. Now Simmons.
Two on from Tyler. Top part of the zone. Evens up the count. Two. Good off speed. Oh, foul. Lowry strikes out swinging. Yeah, mentioned how good of a feel he's got for that pitch. Picks up his third strikeout.
Again, established the ability to throw that curveball for a strike, and then you expand. Looks like a strike, ends up out of the strike zone for a swing and miss. Shoulder isn't very good. Good mechanics straight over the top. And you have to be careful here with another hitter that's swinging at the first pitch. 5 of 6 times in this season so far, he has swung at the first pitch.
Davis with one career home run against Tyler Skaggs. It was an opposite field home run. His jersey grazed on a pitch in his first plate appearance. 1 ball, 1 strike. Good crowd here tonight. 50th anniversary celebration. The unveiling of the 15 greatest players. A's history according to fan vote. So pulled over to third. Cozart's there.
Here's the thing about Cozart. Started his first career game at second base yesterday afternoon. First career game starting at third base here tonight. Great hands. Footwork's there for Cozart. That gives Mike Scioscia that flexibility on occasion to give Kinzel or Simmons a day off. He can move all around the infield. And a strong throwing arm. Gathered himself. Firm throw to the first base.
I'm trying to think of the last third baseman from a range perspective that the Angels had. But you could sit there and go, yeah, solid.
Well, Troy Gloss was drafted as a shortstop.
Right.
Moved over to third base, but that's a bigger man playing third base.
I mean, it didn't pan out for Brandon Wood. He was a pretty good third base.
Yes. Real good hands himself.
A lot of guys that have run through that position over the last several years. Yunel Escobar.
Still unsigned. He can hit.
Yeah. There you go.
David Freese.
Mark Trumbo.
Yes. Was there at third base when Jerry Weaver threw his no-hitter the entire game.
That's still the best. Fielded a bunt.
Yes.
In that game. Skaggs ahead of the count, 1-2 on Olson. Olson grounded out to Pujols in the second. Pitch count a little bit higher than you would like at this point, right?
Yeah, it's a little averaging over 15, almost 16 pitches per inning. You want to be around that 13, 14 range, especially because the bullpen was used so much yesterday.
Full count.
He's had a couple counts where he started out 0-2 and ended up being a full count. 20 pitch third inning. Maldonado tried to get that deflection off his glove to be able to catch that in the air. Foul tip by Olson.
Another 3-2, and Olson strikes out swinging. Nice job so far for Tyler Skaggs. We're through 4 at the Coliseum. The Angels maintain a 1-0 lead. Start time at 7:07 for both games. Fans in attendance will receive a wall calendar courtesy of U.S. Bank while supplies last. For more information, go to angels.com. It's a 1-0 Halo lead as we begin the 5th here at the Coliseum. Dueling lefty. Sean Manaea for the Oakland A's. Tyler Skaggs for the Angels. One mistake in this one. That was Manaea to Trout. Home run in the first inning. As Cozart takes a strike to lead off the second. Zach 0 for 1 with a punch out. Jose Mota kind enough to join us from down on the field. Jose's going to be joining us periodically throughout the year, whether it be down in the dugout, by the dugout, or up here at the booth. And so far so good. I mean, it's a pretty good matchup so far between these two guys, and a lot of off-speed stuff on both sides.
Yes, two guys that really have a great feel for how the ball's coming out of their hand right now and not pushing it. And you can see, as Mark knows very well, Victor, your former pitcher too, is about arm speed, and from this angle you can see clearly when it comes out to release point and the whip, everything pretty much from a fastball, sliders, and changeups all looks the same. So just imagine to the hitters here so far.
And what you're seeing from Cozart too, he's trying to track it. Manaea's doing a good job as far as hiding the baseball against him.
Cozart lines one out the left field, little sinking liner, and a nice running catch in left by Chad Pinder for the first out.
Jose, real quick about Cozart after he lines this one out to left field. How difficult, you know that you played a number of infield positions, how difficult is it for him to make that transition from a shortstop over to third, was second yesterday, back to third base here tonight?
To simplify, Gooby, find the baseball. Start low. I mean, the third base is about reaction. Shortstop, second base, you have a better angle. He talked about that today.
about you got to see the ball coming out for the bat. You have more time to set your feet in certain positions like second base. But he's a good athlete. He's made a nice transition so far. There's going to be some challenges, we know that, but got to have the open mind to know that you got to grow through those.
It's got to be comforting. I mean, you play so many years, as Zach Cozart has as a shortstop, that the transition you would think would be a little bit easier for him, having kind of seen the ball off the bat from that side of the infield, as opposed to going over to second base on a full time, and just a different, just kind of like a left fielder, right fielder situation. The ball's coming at you a little bit differently.
For sure. One thing he did in the offseason coming into camp was he had one of his buddies hit some balls from 30 feet as hard as he could, just to understand that now it was reaction, blocking, getting in front of the ball, setting his feet quickly. And the most important thing he says is when I go to my left, I got to remember square off that left shoulder to make sure I make a nice, strong, straight throw to first base.
Cole goes down looking. 2 outs.
It's a tough arm angle, Jose, for Manaea, especially against a lefty when he slings it from that spot.
Yeah, keep in mind too, he's not afraid to go out there and hit some guys. 10-hit batsman last year because his fastball went in on lefties when they're looking slider, and against right-handers he used that inside fastball to set up that changeup. You'll see a lot of guys double digits in hit batsmen nowadays.
A lot of guys wearing the extra protection on the helmet because of it too. Not going to take any chances.
The art of pitching inside is a lost art.
Well, I mean that so-called art shouldn't be happening at the major league level. It should that's something that you start as a young pitcher, whether in high school or otherwise, and continue on through the minor league system.
But we're so used to pitchers being taught to throw the ball away and down and break the balls that all of a sudden we're talking about these launch angles. Now pitchers are going to have to make that adjustment and pitch upstairs. He hides the baseball so well. Good balance over that pitching rubber. And from that 3/4 delivery, baseball, boom, right on top of you as a hitter.
Back up the middle. That almost got Manaea. Wow. Little tomahawk chop by Andrelton Simmons. 2 out knock.
At this age, Victor, of modern stats, you keep track of so many things. Andrelton Simmons among the best in baseball last season, getting on top of that fastball.
Yeah, his numbers versus high pitches. We used to talk about Mark Trumbo being real good with that high fastball, but that pitch is above the letters and still got the barrel of the bat and lines that one back up the middle. 353 batting average on high pitches. 3rd best in the game.
It's Chris Young an opportunity. Simmons off to a pretty good lead over at first base. Young pops it up. Near the dugout. Lucroy and Olsen will watch it land in the seats. Actually, it looked like it landed in somebody's beverage. Because it just splattered everywhere.
There goes a few bucks.
Make sure it's not an adult beverage. Okay, here you go, son.
Like to smell?
Hey, what is it? Irvin Santana's got a hashtag, right? On Twitter, everything he writes about it, hashtag smell baseball.
Yeah,
well, there you go.
There it is.
Smell the hide and maybe a little bit more.
1 ball would strike.
In the meantime, somebody needs a towel.
Yeah.
Fortunate enough, it's a pretty warm night here. Generally at night here in this ballpark, it's really, really cold.
Yeah, very little breeze, too. It's unusual. 1-1. Chopper back to the mound. Manaea's got it. Halos get a base runner with 2 outs, but nothing more as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Splash goes the ball. 1-0 Halos. We head to the bottom of the 5th.
after the game, we're going to break down his swing. And, of course, after the 0 for 6 yesterday, what a great feeling for the Angels. And talk about Tyler Skaggs. In fact, Victor, watch Tyler Skaggs opposed to Andrew Heaney. He likes working from that third base side of the rubber.
It's been working so far tonight. 4 strikeouts, 1 hit allowed. A big swing and a miss by Stephen Piscotty, who grounded down in the second.
That's a good point by Jose. Completely different. Both left-handed pitchers. Tyler Skaggs on the third base side of the pitching rubber. Andrew Heaney, who threw a bullpen session today, looked really, really good on the first base side. For me, it's all about comfort. Generally, it used to be right-handed pitchers favored the third base side of the pitching rubber towards the middle. Lefties were always on that first base side. Why you do that? So you can get inside. If you're a left-handed pitcher, inside against right-handed batters more consistently if you favor that side of the rubber.
Well, you see this too from Skaggs. 2 different type pitchers. Heaney has more of that 2-seam fastball he wants to use, a better changeup, and he felt like working from the third base side of the rubber, he pitched right into that lane. We saw the results last year with the many home runs. So many balls staying up in that lane.
Cozart tried to barehand now, and that'll goes an infield base hit. Playing back with 2 strikes. The ball may or may not have kicked foul, but now wanted to take that chance.
Yeah, if that baseball, if you let it go and it goes down, that's an easy double. See right down the line coming in that barehand. That I think it's going to stay fair anyhow. If he lets that one go, it could be real big time trouble.
Here's one thing he'll learn from that play is he's going to have to learn to get his body outside the baseball and almost come around it. And as a shortstop, you're trained more to go at it, get around to the last minute. But as a third baseman, you need to go out there and have a better read, get outside the baseball, then use your glove to throw. You rarely see guys make that play on a bare hand.
Well, the big thing for him too, Jose, it's a position he's going to have to learn. In about a week or so away, he'll get to watch Adrian Beltre at third base. That's something you can watch and learn from when the guys that are really good have been successful throughout their career. Just figure out and get some of those pointers from somebody playing that position that you have never played before.
That's a good point.
Chapman struck out there the second. 0-1. Ball on a strike. Piscotty, by the way, picks up his first hit as an Oakland Athletic.
Can't say enough. What a terrific story.
Yeah.
Now that he is home. Pleasanton, Stafford product.
This one's lifted out toward right. 1 down. We'll bring up Jonathan Lucroy. Well, Jose, you never know about the Oakland A's. Every year you go into a season and you're like, you look up and down the roster and you're like, well, we'll see. And then all of a sudden, somehow, some way, they come together and they band together and play well and play you tough. This year, you know, they've got some young guys on the horizon, some guys already here in the big leagues.
They have some fine players coming through the system. Position players and pitchers. And then we look at the A's, Victor, and you know very well. Second best home record in the division last year. They have a magic. We saw it here again yesterday on display. Find a way, especially here at home. Pitchers benefit a whole lot with the foul territory. Cold air, but certainly offensively they do just enough here at home to win a lot of games.
Yeah. Angels were 12-7 against Oakland a season ago. We're 5-5 here at the Coliseum.
Count. Certainly a hitter's count here for Lucroy. You got to be careful to see him get a ground ball. Ran that fastball upstairs. And Jose, his velocity tonight has been pretty solid. He's been touching 94 a number of occasions. His changeup's been good. Curveball outstanding. All feel for those 3 pitches have been great tonight.
You know, watching from here too is a soft landing with that front leg, but a great follow through, almost effortless, hitting the mid-90s and being able to repeat those mechanics, stay over the top, stay over that back leg and drive.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
So many times we see a radar gun saying, 91, 93, perhaps 89, 91, but is that perceived velocity to the hitter when you get back to the dugout saying, there's no way that guy's only throwing 91. There's no way that guy's throwing 95. It works the opposite way too. And it seems like the ball's getting on hitters with his fastball.
He's got a pretty long stride too, so when he's delivering the baseball, he's about 50-some feet away, so that makes that fastball even more crisp.
Breaking ball out toward left. Upton racing over. He is there. He'll squeeze it. Round number 2. Headed back to first base is Piscotty. Day game, those are the ones you kind of worry about toward the corner.
Yeah, and it was drifting away. Upton, we talked about his ability to go from to left to right. And good angles to run that one down. That ball off the bat looked like it had a chance to settle into that corner. But Upton able to catch that one there against Lucroy.
Victor, notice too how much deeper Angels outfielders are playing nowadays compared to last season. It all started about 10 games left in spring training. We went over some of the graphics, spray chart, and saying how many times are we getting beat over our heads or in front of us? And how about the speed? How about the coverage? All those things go into consideration. But there's some times in spring training playing night game, we're like, where's Trout? He got lost on the light sometimes.
And Cole's always been a guy that has played well, we've always thought a deeper right field. And now he's the one guy he's playing in.
How about that?
Comparatively speaking.
Well, isn't that a pretty good indication that when your outfielders are more comfortable coming in on the baseball, Jose, as compared to going back?
Absolutely. Pitching, what type of stuff you have, line up you're facing, all those things go into play. And then consider if you play deeper, you're going to have better angles in the gaps. Of course, some balls are going to drop regardless. You're not going to be able to defend everything. But you're basing it all on data nowadays. So you take your chances.
80 pitches now. 2 outs in the 5th for Skaggs. 2-0 to Pinder. Good 2-1.
Now, does the ballpark itself you're playing in come into play on that as far as how deep you're going to play as an outfielder, you think, Jose?
That too.
Obviously, at Fenway Park, you're not going to play up against that green monster. You're going to take away that little flare into the outfield.
Pinder trying to bunt with.
You'll take that any
2
day
outs.
of the week. With that power, with 2 outs.
Well, they'll leave Piscotty at first base. Jose, we appreciate it. We'll see you in the postgame show.
You got it, my friend. Be well.
1-0 as we head to the 6th here at the Coliseum.
Save thousands when you buy or sell your home. Go to purplebricks.com.
Halos up 1-0 on the Trout home run in the 1st inning. That's where we stand right now. Both John Manaea and Tyler Skaggs have been spectacular for 5 innings. Angels will send up Maldonado, Kinsler, and Trout
I'm Maldonado right now. I'm just ready to swing that bat first pitch.
So a lot of off-speed pitches in his third inning at bat, resulting in a strikeout. Manaea has retired 13 of the last 14 batters.
Boy, does he really have that changeup working tonight also. Percentage of pitches thrown last season as far as changeup, 24%. It's a real good one tonight. 18% slider last year, 58% fastball, mostly four-seam fastballs.
Ground ball to third. Chapman, boy, that ball just looks like it hit the lip and became a skimmer all of a sudden. Olsen up and down on the bag. Nice play on both sides.
You see that arm strength Chapman has across the diamond. A high throw, but a lot on that throw. Olsen, a tall target over first base. One of those tough in between hops. He's going back on it and it stays low, but still with that arm he has got a lot on it. High throw. Olsen used that hops to be able to make the play over first. It's one thing Oakland has tried to do and address during spring training into the season, clean up the defense. They were really struggling as far as that category last year.
Most errors in Major League Baseball. Kinsler 0 for 2, a pop-up and a fly ball to center. Two-0 pitch. It's pulled over to third. Chapman with a backhand. Two down.
Mike Trout coming to the plate for a top tier play brought to you by Arco last season against Manaea. Changeup, 84-mile-an-hour, right over the middle part of the plate and down. Tonight, almost the exact same spot. This one at 85, and Trout, same result. 2 home runs against Manaea on the very same pitch and location. Or Arco top tier plays. Good game by Mike Trout. He hit a rocket the last time up on a fastball that was down. But would not be surprised if Manaea tries to pitch him upstairs.
1 for 2. Takes a strike.
On that pitch also. As usual, quite a few Angel fans in the stands here in Oakland.
Did not go.
See if Trout was able to hold up on that swing. Was able to do so. It'd be real strong to be able to hold up on that swing. Trout will choke up a little bit on that bat.
1-2 out towards center. Smolinski comes in. 4th time tonight, Manaea has retired the Angels in order. We're off to the bottom of the 6th inning. Still 1-0 Halos. Take Fox Sports West and Angels baseball with you wherever you go, presented by T-Mobile. 1-0 Angels. It's the bottom of the 6th. Top of the order for Oakland against Tyler Skaggs. First pitch in for a strike. Tyler could use a quick inning. 83 pitches now. 4 strikeouts. 2 hits. 1 hit batter. Simeon has one of those hits. 1 for 2.
When you think about pitch count for starters for the Angels, spring training, all the starters for the most part got up at around that 90 to 95 pitch mark at one point or another in spring training. Good changeup. Great arm speed with that changeup. Stayed on top. Simeon's reading, thinking fastball, pulled off on that pitch. Great speed.
Punches this one out towards shallow right field. Cole coming on, dives. Did he get it? He did.
Wow.
What a terrific catch by Cole Calhoun.
Wow.
At the last second, laying out for it and robbing Simeon of a base hit, if not more.
There's a reason why he's won a Gold Glove, and I'll tell you what, that was an unbelievable play. Now it's time for the Purple Brick save of the game. What a catch. Full extension on the dive by Cole Calhoun, who can do it all already in these first 2 games. Full extension. Tyler Skaggs saying, yes, what a play. And that's why you just throw strikes, keep the ball in the yard. With this defense, Billy Appler talked about that a lot all spring training long, about defensive runs saved. What a play by Cole Calhoun. I didn't think he had a chance at that, Victor.
No. Smolinski's 0 for 2 with a fly ball right in a pop-up to Simmons, the shortstop. Skies this one down the left field line. Long run for Upton into the bullpen. That one is out of play.
Might be a time for Tyler Skaggs to walk around that pitcher's mound to give his guys a little bit of a breather. That was a long way to go for everyone involved.
High fastball tied him up. Down goes Smolinski. 2 outs.
Some cheese upstairs from Tyler Skaggs. After a couple pitches lower part of the strike zone, the target set by Maldonado and the target hit by Tyler Skaggs for a swing and miss.
Two outs. Nobody offered Jed Lowry a baseball. Come on to the right field area. Just have Blake Wood warming up in the bullpen. Lowry 0 for 2.
Again, swinging at the first pitch. And another solid first pitch to him by Skaggs.
This was punched into center field. A base hit. Went down and got it. 2-out single. We'll bring up Chris Davis.
That first visit. This is an opportunity to allow Blake Wood to get a few extra throws down there. This might be it for Skaggs. 5 2/3, 92 pitches thrown. You have a very, very dangerous right-handed batter. Chris Davis at the plate. Skaggs has pitched him well so far as 0 for 1, but coming into the game 4 for 6 against him in his career. Like Mike Socha said, go get him.
Chris Davis hit by a pitch in the second, grounded out in the fourth. 0 for 1. Breaking ball lifted out to shallow center. Long run in for Trout. Calls Kinsler off.
Great pitch.
Makes the catch.
Outstanding effort by Tyler Skaggs. Get a dangerous hitter out on a slow breaking ball. But Cole Calhoun set the tone with an outstanding defensive play to start the bottom of the 6th. May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. Upton, Pujols, Cozart here in the 7th against Sean Manaea. An outstanding performance by Skaggs so far, looking for some extra add-on runs here. Manaea has been every bit as good as Skaggs, also just that one mistake to Mike Trout.
Upton 1 for 2 with a single and a fly ball to center.
No base on balls, 93 pitches, 5 punch outs, 6 shutout innings for Tyler Skaggs. And what if you're a youngster or even pitcher in high school or college, if you want to watch two pitchers go at it and hit their spots, change speeds, both lefties, very, very solid and consistent tonight.
Underneath this one, shallow center. Lowry drifting out. It's called off, and it's Smolinski, the center fielder. One down. Hey, join us on Friday, April the 6th. Angels taking on the same Oakland Athletics at 7:07. Fans in attendance receive a Pujols countdown to 3,000 action figure, courtesy of Muscle Maker Grill while supplies last. For more information on that bobblehead, or figurine, I should say, check out angels.com.
Just 30 hits away now from 3,000 for the machine. 2 hits yesterday.
Foul territory. Olsen racing over and still unable to get there.
But baseball came drifting back real close.
Another ball. 34. That was Raleigh Fingers, right?
Yep. Hall of Famer. Wasn't many 3-out saves in that repertoire for Raleigh Fingers. A lot of 3-inning saves.
Albert waves at the off-speed pitch, 2 outs.
He's had a real tough time against Minaya tonight, especially dealing with that changeup. Stays back and well. We talk about how he hides the baseball that turns that changeup going away. Albert now 0 for 15 in his career versus Minaya.
Kozar, fly ball in the left field his last time up. Looks to strike.
And that's the most at bats for Albert ever to have against a pitcher without having a base hit against him. Doesn't happen often for Albert Pujols against any pitcher. Minaya has his number so far.
Kozar shoots one out towards center. Smolinski. Mr. Command. The Angels once again down in order. Minaya's been dealing, as has Tyler Skaggs. Stretch time at the Coliseum. 1-0 Angels. Well, we've been treated to a wonderful pitching performance on both sides. John Minaya for Oakland, Tyler Skaggs for the Angels. Halos up 1-0 here in the 7th. The breaking ball has been huge for Tyler Skaggs tonight.
Victor and his mechanics have been flawless. Now it's time for the Coors Light cold, hard, refreshing finish for Tyler Skaggs. Talk about that finish of his pitches, whether it's a changeup, fastball upstairs, that breaking ball, outstanding break to it, the tilt of the breaking ball. Very consistent throughout, set up by that fastball, command, and changeup. Two-seamer changeup combo, followed by the four-seam fastball upstairs, and big-time curveball.
Well, he dropped one big-time curveball to get the final out of the 6th inning. That was to Chris Davis at the fly ball to center. So it'll be Matt Olson, Stephen Piscotty, Matt Chapman for the A's in the 7th inning. Skaggs takes them out. Blake Wood back up and loosening the bullpen for the Angels. Olsen 0 for 2. Ground ball to first and a strikeout. 1-1.
A couple of fastballs, still pretty consistent velocity on his fastball. That one at 91 on pitch, number 95 for Skaggs. Likely a one-batter scenario here for Skaggs. Try to get that tough lefty, and Matt Olson out here. The top of the bottom of the 7th.
Trying to go outside, just missed.
Tell you what, that was framed perfectly by Martin Maldonado. It was not a strike, but it gave the perception that it was a strike. And now a lot of times as a hitter, because you hear those sounds in the crowd, you might expand the strike zone.
Breaking balls out towards center field. Trout playing deep is underneath it. 1 down. Big part of the ballpark.
It's pitching to the right part of the ballpark. And Jose was talking about Trout, how deep he plays in center, to be able to track that down rather easily. Here comes Mike Scioscia right on cue.
6 1/3 fantastic innings for Tyler Skaggs tonight. 98 pitches. With 5 strikeouts, no walks, 3 hits allowed, and a hit batter. And he did exactly what we said early on. He needed to work deep in this ball game to kind of give that bullpen a little bit of a blow, since they used 7 relievers in yesterday's first game. So Blake Wood on to relief here at the Coliseum with the Angels up 1-0. He's getting congratulations, and well-deserved on his first outing of the season.
Both pitchers outstanding. No walks combined between the two. 11 punch-outs in 13 1/3 innings pitched between the two outstanding young lefties tonight.
Blake Wood, second appearance. Pitched yesterday with 1 inning and 1 strikeout. First one, Stephen Piscotty. Apparently a little bit upstairs. Piscotty, 1 for 2, had an infield base hit in the 5th inning, his first hit in that hometown team uniform. Lifts it out to right. 2 down.
A little easier play for Cole as compared to last inning.
missed by much. Chapman 0 for 2. Struck out in the second, a fly ball to right in the fifth.
A little splitter there from Blake Wood.
Jose Alvarez loosening. That is pulled through the left side. That was too good of a pitch on a 1-2 count. So Chapman picks up his first hit of the year. Here comes Jonathan Lucroy.
In this pitch, little slider just spun out over the plate. You see the reaction there. You always can tell when a pitch is not made exactly where you want it by the reaction by your catcher. And Martin Maldonado saw that pitch not getting where he wanted it to be thrown. Certainly no borderline pitches called a strike tonight. Fastball 96, just a little bit off the corner.
Was reading the 1-1. This by Lucroy, 1-2.
Boy, solid splitter from Wood. Again, 1-2 count again. Coming up, splitter starts in the strike zone, ends up almost in the dirt.
Lucroy 0 for 2. Ground down to the fly ball to left.
That's a good one there. Good slider there. Had Lucroy leaning out over the plate. Cole anticipating something out that way. A little more shallow than normal out in right field to take away that flare to right.
So Lucroy wears that one square in the back. And with 2 outs and ahead of both hitters, Woods giving up a hit and a hit batter.
Looks like a splitter.
Tying run now in scoring position, and Chad Pinder coming up. Pinder struck out in the third, trying to bunt his way on a 2-1 count in the fifth. Chapman, the man at second, Lucroy at first. 1-0 Halos. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Tom the order and Marcus Semien on deck. throw to first base on a back pick, and they got him. Martin Maldonado, known for the back pick, gets a big out here in the bottom of the 7th.
You talk about defensive runs saved and back picks. Gold Glove winner last season. What a play by Martin Maldonado. Timing play with Albert Pujols coming from behind him. Look at that, it's a timing play. Perfect throw, quick tag. Get through the inning with a defensive play. Outstanding job by Maldonado and Albert Pujols. About that timing, there was certainly a relay of communication that let him know the back pick, and a perfect throw by Martin Maldonado, pumped up as he goes off the field, but Albert Pujols in position to apply that tag to get through the inning with a defensive play.
Cole Calhoun, big swing and a foul ball back. No balls, 2 strikes on Cole.
When you talk about how quick this pop time, 1.58 seconds, 85-mile-an-hour throw. That's that arm strength for Martin Maldonado to make the perfect back pick, and Albert Pujols applying the tag.
1-2. Maldonado 56 back pick attempts last year. Second in Major League Baseball, only to Wilson Contreras.
Remember, he used to back up Jonathan Lucroy in Milwaukee.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Now the 2-2. Cole gets jammed, rolls one softly. Right side, Olsen. He's got it, gloves it over the Mile, bare hands it, and they get Calhoun for the first out.
You know what, there's been some outstanding defensive plays in this game. When you have 2 pitchers working quickly, throwing strikes, you're going to have some good D. And that was a good play by Olsen that flips it over Minaya, covering the base. All in one motion, the flip, and the bare hand. First baseman doesn't use the bare hand. The pitcher used the bare hand to make the play.
So 1 out. Here's Andrelton Simmons, who singled his last time up the middle. Action at both bullpens.
Boy, there's 87 pitches right now into the 8th inning with 1 out for Sean Minaya tonight.
Down the line, foul.
Chapman's made a couple pretty good plays in this game at third. Keenan Middleton getting ready in the bullpen.
Petit Pagan getting ready for Oakland. Popped up behind the plate. Lucroy. No room, no play. Oakland will have 9, 1, and 2 coming up. At the bottom of the 8th inning, Pinder, Simeon, and Smolinski. Barring a pinch hitting situation, maybe Matt Joyce would pinch hit for Pinder. Ball and 2 strikes. The game in Miami is finally over. 17 innings. Marlins walking off on the Chicago Cubs. 12:35 a.m. there now.
Try to go back upstairs. Remember last time a high fastball, Hamilton Simmons lined that back up the middle. Great numbers on high pitches last season. 350.
The only run in this game, the Trout home run in the first inning. 2-2, ground ball to the right side, and that'll sneak through for a base hit. So a multi-hit game for Simmons. Chris Young coming up, the DH tonight. So now both teams with 4 hits. Chris Young 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Bouncer back to the mound.
Certainly has good power. Coming in this game, he's 5 for 7 in his career versus Nye. Nye has thrown him very, very effectively so far, 0 for 2.
Chris Young, 34-year-old native of Houston. 90 games with the Red Sox last year. 235 with 7 home runs and 25 runs batted in. Throw over to first. Young originally a White Sox 16th round pick in 01 out of high school. Played the big leagues with Arizona, Oakland. Now is in 2013. The Mets, the Yankees, Red Sox, and now the Angels.
Nye has allowed 9 stolen bases in 14 attempts last season.
Simmons over at first. Good lead for him. Long hold. Young calls time. Two down. Seventh strikeout of the night for Chavez, and that's going to be it. Martin Maldonado coming up, number 9 hitter.
Yeah, that's surprising.
And he's 0 for 2 tonight. He's going to go to Yusmeiro Petit. So Chavez departs to a nice round of applause. And deservedly so. He pitched well tonight, but he departs trailing 1-0. He's going to face his former battery mate last season. Martin Maldonado struck out in the 3rd, grounded out in the 6th inning.
Simmons with 19 stolen bases last season, a career high.
Just going to say, now with a right-hander, maybe give yourself an opportunity to try to steal a base.
I think you got to try to do something, even with motion allowed, because Maldonado is very good as far as if you put a hit and run on, he can make contact, hit the ball to the right side.
There goes Simmons. There's a ground ball toward the left side. It's backhanded by Lowry. He had coverage at second base, and the Angels are done here in the 8th. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Looks like Keenan Middleton's on a relief. 1-0 Halos. Bottom of the 8th inning, Martin Maldonado with a pickoff to end the 7th inning. And go back to April of last year here at the Coliseum with Jeffrey Marte at first base.
You got Martin Simeon a little bit too far off the base, applied the tag, but this one tonight, very important. It was a timing play. Albert Pujols, you see him going behind Jonathan Lucroy, applies the tag, and how pumped up Martin Maldonado was on that perfect throw for a back pick 4th as an Angel.
Keenan Middleton on the mound for the Halos. He pitched in yesterday's game, but an inning in the 3rd with 1 strikeout. Matt Joyce will pinch hit for Chad Pinder. It's 9-1-2 for Oakland. Big swing, foul ball back.
Most hitters, especially power hitters coming off the bench, are looking for his pitch fastball. He got it. Pretty healthy hack at that one.
Pinder finishes the game going 0 for 2. Joyce was the leadoff man in yesterday's game, ended up going 1 for 4 with a couple of walks. Out toward left field, hit well, upped it. Going back to the wall, leaps up, and he can't make the catch. Ricochets off, and Joyce is on board with a double. A leadoff double for Matt Joyce to start the 8th.
Got back to the wall, tried to time that leap. He's looking, getting a feel for the wall, turns his body. Just by the glove, ends up being a double.
There's Marcus Semien. A's shortstop's 1 for 3 with a single in the third. Blows that fastball right by him.
98. And a very good fastball hitter.
Leadoff double for Joyce off the wall and left. He stands at second, represented the tying run. Breaking ball. And it's 1-2.
Middleton trying to get either the punch out or a ground ball to that left side of the infield. Either Cozart or Simmons to keep Joyce at second base. Semien trying to hit the ball to the right side of the infield at the very least.
Cole a little bit shallower in right field. Now the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Semien, 1 down.
Big punch out for Keenan. Went that high four-seam fastball. Upper part of the strike zone. You see what Semien was trying to do. He's trying to hit the ball the other way, but when it's that firm, very difficult to make contact. Swing and miss for Middleton.
Boog Powell's going to pinch hit for Jake Smolinski, who finishes the night 0 for 3. Powell, the Mission Viejo native, had some pesky at-bats in yesterday's game. Got the start at center. Ended up going 2 for 5 with a double and a triple. It was his triple that started the rally in the 11th, eventually scoring the winning run. 0-1.
And that doesn't count as a mound visit when there's a pinch hitter involved.
Missed outside. Ball and a strike. Simmons is the man charged, trying to keep Joyce close to the bag at second base. The Angels up 1-0 in the 8th with 1 out. Powell pounces this one over to Pujols. He'll race to the bag, and he just does get in there. And that's a dangerous play for Boog Powell. Diving head first. Joyce ends up at third. And I wonder if Joyce did something to himself as he was running over to third base. Matt Williams looking into the dugout. 2 outs here in the 8th. Jed Lowry coming up.
Yeah, it's a dangerous play for Powell going head first. You can get stepped on by Albert trying to get to that base. Doesn't look real comfortable, Matt Joyce.
There's a look at Joyce going over to third.
Oh, you see how he stepped on that bag, looking over to see what was going to be made on the play, if it was going to be a flip over to Middleton to see if he can try to score. Albert took that out of the equation by taking it himself.
Lowry 1 for 3. Swinging first pitch, comes up empty. Lowry lifts one out the left. Should be playable for Upton. So that leadoff double to start the 8th inning is stranded there, and a heck of a job for the 2nd consecutive game for Keenan Middleton. We head to the 9th. Halos up 1-0. Top of the ninth here at the Coliseum. The Angels trying to pick up their first W of the season. Lead at 1-0. Needed Middleton. They looked at leadoff double, but then got the next three guys rather easily. And so it stays at 1-0 as Kinsler will lead things off. New pitcher on. Emilio Pagan takes over for the Oakland A's. Picked up in a trade in November. Former A's first baseman Ryan Healy. Pagan with good stuff, good arm. Pitched last year with Seattle, 34 games, 2-3 with a 3.22 ERA. Joyce stays in the game and left, Powell in center.
They've gone fastball 92, 96. He'll throw a slider, changeup, a lot of sliders.
1 ball, 1 strike. Kinsler 0 for 3. A pop up, a fly ball to center, and a ground ball to third. That is ripped beyond the reach of Simeon, and it's a leadoff single for Ian Kinsler. His first hit as a halo.
He went down and got that pitch and lines it into left field. Important because he is a very good base runner. Go back to my Hyundai key for the game. Speaking of being down in the strike zone, dig down. Mike Trout, the only run of the game, went down and got a changeup from Sean Manaea. Hit went out of the ballpark. Hyundai key to the game. See if he can do so again.
Trout 1 for 3 with that home run in the first inning. Check in on Kinsler.
Kinsler with 225 career stolen bases. What you hope for is having a pitcher distracted by that speed to make a mistake to Mike Trout.
Very little experience for Angels hitters against Pagan. Trout 0 for 1. Good lead for Ian at first.
Trout looked like he was ready to swing at the first pitch.
Oh, that's in there. He was up the count. Quick visit to the mound. The Angels have Blake Parker getting ready in their bullpen. Scott Emerson, the pitching coach, heads back to the dugout. Kurt Young, longtime pitching coach for the A's, no longer here. He's across the bay with the San Francisco Giants.
Dave Regretti moved up the front office. He's been there for a long time. Successful career as the pitching coach for the Giants.
Kurt heard some boos. He did a video. He was one of the 50 great Angels or athletics, and he submitted a video with his Giants uniform from spring training, and heard some boos wearing that Giants uniform.
As well, you should.
No love lost between the teams here in the Bay Area. 1 ball, 1 strike. Got Trout, nobody out. 2-1.
Boy, Trout, his career on a 2-1 count. He makes contact, .439 batting average. 2-1 count throughout his career.
Up to the man on deck.
And a pretty good pitch, drive, lower part of the strike zone. Just got it by and pulled off it.
There's Upton. Pagan, a 10th round pick by Seattle in 2013 at Belmont Abbey College in Belmont, North Carolina. At the high school in Greenville, South Carolina. Now the 2-2. Pulls this one toward third, off the body of Chapman. He goes to second base, and they get the lead runner.
That ball was crushed. It's a pretty solid play by Chapman. Talking about the hot corner, giving up your body to keep that in front. That's exactly what he did. Trout hit that well. Able to get the force out of second. Playing back, a rocket one hopper kept the body in front. Firm throw over to second. Get the force out. He's made some real good plays at third tonight for Oakland.
Upton 1 for 3 with a single. Twice he's hit a fly ball to center. Trout off to a good lead at first. Got it. Does a nice job of holding the baseball, didn't he?
The best way.
Ripped out the left. Joyce going to play it on a hop, and it gets by him. Travel route second, head to third. Powell backing up on the play, gets the ball back in. Trout's going to score, and the Angels have a 2-0 lead. Ill-advised attempt by Matt Joyce on that short hop.
Yeah, you caught in between to go up and try to get the baseball or play it on the hop, and it skipped right by him. That was another rocket. Justin Upton with a 2-hit performance tonight. Fastball was afraid it belt high, and this is an absolute bullet. And that one hop gets away from Matt Joyce, and Trout with that speed, and Dino Weeble never hesitating, sends him home with the second run of the game, that insurance run.
It's a single and an error on Matt Joyce, no run batted in. So man in scoring position, 2-0 Halos, and here's Albert. That's back-to-back batters that have absolutely covered a baseball. Trout and Upton. Albert 0 for 3. He's happy that Jean-Benet is no longer in the game.
Yeah, you're going to throw a slider like that after 2 rockets in a row.
Outfield straight around for Oakland with Pujols up. Ball and a strike.
That is a big run, Victor, to get here in the 9th inning. It takes away a lot of options for the opposing manager. If it's a 1-run lead, someone gets on base. Good swing there from Justin Upton.
First error of the year for Oakland. Joyce had 7 of them last year. And it changes the dynamic. You got Albert at the plate with runners at first and second and 1 out. If you're the A's, you'll take that. You'll take your chances. Albert's grounded into a double play already tonight.
Joyce had that tough time going around third base where he stumbled on the bag itself, and then that tough play out in left field. Going in between, charging the ball or staying back. Ends up resulting in a run. Yeah, Pagan's got a pretty good arm though. Relatively straight fastball though, but it's a firm fastball.
Run in the first, the 1 run so far. Here the 9th. Blake Parker ready to go in the pen for the Angels. Double barrel action going for Oakland in their bullpen. Coulomb the lefty and Hendricks the right-hander. A 2-1 count. Albert just underneath this one out the left.
Well, you can see the reaction by Albert. He had a pitch to do some serious damage. Just got underneath it. His reaction going down the line tells you that he had a pitch to hit.
Zach Cozart coming up. First big league game at third base tonight after playing his first big league game at second base yesterday afternoon. 0 for 3. Strikeout, a fly ball to left, and a fly ball to center. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th for the Athletics. Chris Davis, Matt Olson, Stephen Piscotty. 4, 5, and 6. Cozart looks at the strike. Oh, 2.
Cozart .263 batting average. With 2 strikes on him last season, best in the National League. Trying to get a base hit to get another insurance run here.
I don't remember Pagan being this deliberate last year with Seattle. Dirt. Lucroy can't find it. Up is going to take third. Wild pitch.
That's important too, because you take away that nasty slide into the dirt now. Pitchers are more apt to not throw that pitch in the dirt with 2 strikes. When you're a man on second, he tried to get Cozart the chase, didn't, and Upton able to advance to third.
No hesitation either by Justin. Just take it off as soon as he read it. One, 2. Upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. If Cozart can reach somehow, it's Calhoun on deck.
And you might see Bob Melvin go to the bullpen if that's the case.
The lefty. Here comes a 2-2. Full count.
It's good at bat by Cozart. Behind 0-2, has not chased. A couple breaking balls in the dirt. High fastball. Now he's back in command on a 3-2 count.
Three-two on the way. Cozart lines one out the left field. Joyce coming in for it, and he will make the catch for the 3rd out. But the Angels do add a run on the big error by Matt Joyce in left, and the ball hit by Justin Upton. 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the 9th.
following the Saturday Night Fireworks. For more information on the post-game movie, visit angels.com/promotions. Great movie, by the way.
Blake Parker takes over on the mound for the Angels, and a couple of defensive changes as well behind him, which leads you to believe that maybe Kinsler wasn't feeling good after that slide at second base. 71 games a season to go, 3-3. 2.54 ERA. Zach Cozart moves over from third to second base. Luis Valbuena, the new third baseman. First one is down and away.
Saw Mike Scioscia going over to Ian Kinsler in the dugout after he was out at that play at second, that force out on the ground out or shot by Mike Trout.
Chris Davis hit by him, pitch in the second, grounded out in the fourth, the fly ball to center in the sixth inning. 2 balls, no strikes. Let's go back and take a look at that play. Ball that Trout hit.
It's a late slide. You see that in there, the foot and then the knee, especially because of that. Then that stretched out the groin area too, where he's had a little bit of an issue.
Two-0 pitch to Davis. That's in the first strike. Ian still in the dugout. Hopefully it's just a precautionary thing. Get him out. Three-one count. Matt Olson's on deck. Right after.
Have to. A big run added in the top of the ninth allows you to challenge him with a 3-1 pitch. Got to challenge him here again. Although you do have the option of your splitter if you play Parker.
32 years of age, native of Fayetteville, Arkansas. What a find he was for the Angels bullpen last season. Three balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. We're in the ninth. Payoff. Foul back.
92-mile-an-hour fastball went right after him.
Reset and do it again. It's fouled off of Maldonado. It got him at the shoulder, maybe.
And he tried to corral that baseball off his body. Again, right after him with a fastball off that shoulder and mask area. But maybe he can catch that deflection.
You watch him lead off man to strike the ninth is on board for Oakland. Bring up yet another dangerous hitter, Matt Olson. First walk of the game for either side. Olson 0 for 3. Ground out, a strikeout, and a fly ball to center. Olson 1 for 1. Against Blake Parker, that one, a home run. Pujols playing behind Davis at first base.
Good conversation here now.
Halos with 3 mound visits remaining. One ball, no strikes. 2-0 Angels at the bottom of the 9th. 2-0. Here comes Charles Nagy.
Trying to get him back in a rhythm.
If there was a team, this is his first outing of the year. If there was a team that wreaked havoc on Blake Parker last year, it was the Oakland A's. No record, an ERA over 6, 10 innings, 8 hits, 7 runs, and 17 strikeouts and 3 walks. So having already issued a walk to Davis, Parker behind 2-0 on Olsen. Piscotty's on deck. 3-0.
Like we saw earlier in the game on a 3-0 count, Olsen will be swinging.
Now the 3-1 pitch. Olsen pulls one to the right side. Kozar can't come up with it. Just beyond the reach of his dive. And the first 2 have reached for the Athletics in the 9th.
Just by Kozar, who moved from 3rd to 2nd after Ian Kinsler had to leave the game. Hit well by Olsen. One hopper just by the glove.
Stephen Piscotty, the right fielder, 1 for 3.
That's a great block by Maldonado. That pitch well in front of the plate. He's done some special things defensively tonight. This might have been his biggest play throughout this game. Squares the body up, keeps it in front.
Parker's been behind all 3 hitters this inning. Piscotty fouls it back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jim Johnson on the right, Jose Alvarez on the left. Now the 1-1.
Good splitter. Under control on that delivery of the split finger fastball from Blake Parker.
One ball, 2 strikes. For the first out here in the 9th. Parker's ready. Now the 1-2. Oh, 2 balls, 2 strikes. "17 pitches so far for Blake Parker here in the 9th inning. Chris Davis, the base runner at second, Olsen at first. Now the 2-2. Scotty, a swing and a miss. Down he goes, 1 out.
That was a real good split finger fastball. Stayed on top, looked like a strike to Piscotti, and then the bottom drops out. See where this located? At the knees, ends up in the dirt, blocked very well by Martin Maldonado. Perfect finish of that splitter from Blake Parker.
So 1 out, Matt Chapman now up. Chapman 1 for 3, singled his last time up. Good off-speed pitch for a strike. Simmons trying to keep Davis close to the bag at second.
That's really a courtesy look because his run doesn't matter.
Right.
Runner at first base, the important one.
Oh, it seems like Anderson trying to do something to get some sort of an advantage, whether take the mind off the game for a second for Chris Davis or otherwise.
Sometimes over a lot of movement, whether it's the runner or the shortstop, you can distract the hitter. More difficult to pick up a rotation of a splitter.
Now the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Chapman. 2 down. Back-to-back strikeouts for Parker.
You got to stay focused. Some really good splitters in a row, but you got to stay on top of your game and the focus right here. Stayed on top. Nasty split from Blake Parker. Angel fan liking that splitter. Swing and miss.
Jonathan Lucroy, 1 for 3. He'll shoot one out toward right center field. That will get down for a base hit. Davis will score. Olsen on his way to third. It's a 2-1 game as Cozart jogs the baseball into the infield. So Lucroy jumping on that first pitch. Picks up the RBI single. And it's a 1-run game with a tying run 90 feet away.
Fastball that drifted out over the plate, wanted it away. Too much to the plate. Trout able to cut that one down, playing a no doubles defense, playing deep. Then Olsen to come all the way around from first on that base hit. And Jonathan Lucroy getting in quickly to the cutoff man.
Joyce doubled off the wall as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning. Stranded at third base. First one. Swing and a miss. Joyce looking to atone for the mistake he made in the top of the inning. Insurance run. It's giving the Angels the cush right now. It's 2-1 with 2 outs. 0-1 downstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Just another close 1-run game between the Angels and the Athletics.
Parker ready. Joyce waves at the off-speed pitch.
Took a little bit off that splitter at 80 miles an hour. Generally, it's going to be 82, 84 range out in front.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Gotta make sure it's down.
Yep.
It's those high ones that usually find the outfield grass on a flare, right? And now the 1-2 downstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's a pretty good pitch. That's a good take by Matt Joyce. That pitch out of the hand of Blake Parker had the appearance of a strike, but drifted off the plate, took it.
Chris Davis, the leadoff walk to start the 9th. Single by Olsen. Then Parker struck out both Piscotty and Chapman before Lucroy had the RBI single to set up this situation. Runners at the corners. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch. Ground ball, right side. Zach Kozar is there. On to first. Light that baby up as the Angels pick up their first W of the season by the final of 2-1.
And always one of those tight games with Oakland, but Parker getting the save. Mike Trout got the scoring started with a home run in the first inning. Cole Calhoun with an outstanding defensive play. Justin Upton with a big game himself, a couple hits as the Angels win their first game of the season. Parker picking up his first save. What a thriller once again, as always, with the Oakland A's.
More importantly, Tyler Skaggs, who went 6 1/3. Solid innings today.